2, 1.
I don't support the LGBT community.
You know, we have a constitution, and I think global warming is an infringement on those rights.
The same issues of the black community affect all communities, whether you're white or black or brown or green.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Because the black runs and he fights back.
Oh, no. There'll be other bears. Polar bears go extinct, so what?
Okay, so I had been watching some Jubilee videos. In the midst of it all, I see this guy. His name was Keith, and he had some of the strangest theories on that episode. I thought nothing of it, and then autoplay hit and moved on to climate change. There he was again, with some very disturbing ideas. So I searched a little further. I found another video with Keith and one more. And through those 4 videos, I discovered one thing. He's the absolute worst person, and it's not even close. Please let me show you. Hi, I'm 16leo, and I have a doozy today. I don't think there is a video on this guy. I don't think you'll find a video on Keith anywhere else on YouTube. I saw this man, 4 different videos, talk about some of the most reckless shit in the world. And the worst part about all this is that Keith is a teacher. He's teaching people these weird things. I realize that you may not understand what I'm talking about, so I helped compile a list for you today. It's called Keith's Plan. Did I misspell the word Keith and then last second have to shoehorn an H there? Yeah. I don't know what face that was. I'm gonna write down all the theories that he says and wants to live by today. I also need you to know something. Keith loves the Constitution. In fact, he loves it so much, every time he says it, I'm going to drink. What am I going to drink? Raspberry juice, YouTube. Raspberry juice. So by the end of this video, there is a good chance I won't remember it. And if you like the video, by the end of it, do subscribe. All right, strap in, you big babies. So this video is called Do All Trump Supporters Think the Same? And it's from late December 2018.
I feel safe publicly expressing my political opinion. 3, 2, 1.
So there he is in the background, just waiting.
Me, I'm a skateboarder in an industry that is pretty much skateboarder.
He's a skateboarder. He's John Nathan. What the hell is that spelling? Parents of John Nathan. Come on. But let's move on to the real star.
Issues about the black community are not important.
I somewhat agree that they're not important because the same issues of the black community affect all communities. My issues are no different from his issue or his issues, whether you're white or black or brown or green.
I'm sorry, did Keith really just say that? Shrek has some fucked up issues, bro. He live in a swamp. That's not okay. He has a gingerbread man is his friend that came to life. What if you get hungry and you eat him? How do you tell his wife that? But seriously, Keith thinks all issues are the same. I don't know if anyone told him yet, but he's also non-white.
I'm going to say I strongly disagree because there are different issues in the black community than are in other communities. There's higher crime rates. There's higher abortion rates. There's crime and violence within this community. There's a lot of hatred, and those are specific to the black community.
Joy is right.
We as Americans, whether you're black, brown, or white.
Or green. And let's not forget about the green people. Shrek and other people who are about to throw up. Those are them.
So I have the obligation to stop when the police officer says stop.
Absolutely,
where abuse has followed because the black runs and he fights back. Because the black runs and he fights back.
I'm not sure I've ever heard that in my life before. The black. Are you serious? Oh, what? Oh. I'm gonna write that down. Keith's first plan is to obey the law because the black usually doesn't. Who cares about all those times when that wasn't even remotely true? Keith knows. You know why? Because he is also the black. We just started. Are you seeing what I'm seeing yet? This man is like a Dave Chappelle skit. He just doesn't know who he is.
America should build a wall.
I strongly agree that we need the wall.
I'm sorry, I know this episode is about Keith, but Joe Nathan over here can't stop laughing every time I hear him talk because he's like the most aggressive talker ever. He sounds like Dane Cook when he did stand-up.
First off, 1 out of every 3 illegals comes with a federal crime, whether it's murder or even drug cartel.
Everyone's a drug cartel. 1 in 3 people suck. I'm a skateboarder. I know the facts. Think with your head, not your mind. You know what it is? I'm Joe Nathan.
What about the illegal immigrants that come that are dreamers? But what about the American black dreamer? His dream is to be a lawyer, his dream is to go to college, and his dream is to become something and get out the hood.
Why you think every black person from the hood? Why you think that, bro? Who the hell gave this man this information? I don't even know if he understands how stupid that sounds. As my friend over there said, the black needs to come out of the hood. I'm Joe Nathan. I'm Joe Nathan, and my skateboard has training wheels on it.
But the real issue is, what can we do to make our country have an easier system for people to come in a legal fashion?
It is very, very backwards when the man making the most sense is wearing a bowler hat and looks like he's definitely from the 1780s. I thought he was an Englishman this whole time, and he just went there and he's like, oh my God, sorry about that. This guy's making sense, which proves two things. One, don't judge people by how they look. Two, look at Keith. Don't judge people by how they look.
I support the LGBT community. 3, 2, 1.
Look how progressive we're becoming, guys. Even the Trump supporters shown here all support the LGBT community.
If it's contrary to natural law, which it is in my view, then I don't agree with it. However, I can like you as a person. So they fight for rights that are outside of the natural rights of the Declaration of Independence.
Now, that's not the Constitution, but it's close. And you know what? The only person that can dispute this is the man himself, Nick Cage, who I would love to hear talk to Keith, because I think the world would explode at that point. No, Keith, that is stupid.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness within the boundaries of natural law. So that's why I don't support the LGBT community.
So I'll tell you my biggest problem with Keith right now. It has nothing to do with how he looks or what he talks like. It's the fact that this man is a high school teacher. No, this is not okay. Like, you could believe what you want, but I have a feeling this man is not teaching curriculum. He's just reading the Bill of Rights to people 24/7.
No extra rights. No extra right to marry same sex, but the same right as I have.
I'm gonna write that one down. So Keith says that the LGBT should not be allowed to marry, even though they deserve the same rights as us, except marriage. Again, I don't want to get into this too much, but I just have one question. Why does it bother you what two people who are not affecting your life do? Why don't you work on your own life? Bro, Keith, every time you and your wife do foreplay, you ask her to dress up as the Bill of Rights. That's not sexy.
But your rights say you can marry whoever you want, right?
Oh, very good. Okay, good point.
He didn't even disagree with that. She was just like, we all have equal rights. He's like, oh, yes, okay. Ha! Keith is so easily persuaded. What the hell? Keith is one of the most dangerous people there is because he talks in a manner that you can believe him. Like, if you compare him to Joe Nathan just screams at people with his mouth, and it's very easy to be put off and be like, oh my God, this guy again. If you saw a guy Papa Ollie then give you life advice, unless his name was Tony Hawk, you probably wouldn't take it. But if Keith came and stood next to you and he was like, so, you know what you need to do is go back to the country you came from. Because he says it so calmly, you think he's saying the right thing, but until you actually hear what he's saying, it's all just terrible.
Trump is a good role model for our children.
Hell yeah.
The reason why I somewhat agree is because I don't think any president should be a role model for children. I think they should be a role model for America.
I don't think you should be a role model for children. Children don't need role models. They're stupid babies. My little brother is a little baby. He doesn't even understand the implications of society. My name is Joe Nathan, and I don't think children are American. They're all idiots. Oh man, my dude just sounds mad dumb these days.
Trump is making America great again.
All right. He's only there temporarily. I mean, this guy is only going to be here for what, another 4 or 5 years? It's not the end of the world. It's getting there, but not yet.
Sorry, I needed a second to process that bullshit. Keith over here on a video about Trump supporters. It sounds like he doesn't even like Trump. This is the first video. This next one is from late July 2019, and it's about climate change activists versus climate change skeptics. Guess who is spearheading the anti-climate change.
My name is Don. I'm a professor of
Skateboarder.
My name is Andrew. I studied
Skateboarder.
My name is Natalie. I'm a local
Skateboarder.
My name is Michael. I'm the vice president of
Skateboarder.
My name is Dr. James Enstrom. I'm a physicist and epidemiologist, and I'm passionate about
Skateboarder.
My name is Keith Hardeen. I'm a constitutional rights activist.
Ah, damn it. He started with the Constitution stuff, huh? L'chaim. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Oh, okay, I can feel it. Woo! It is a thing, and it's gonna affect the future generations, but a lot of these people are old enough to not care.
no matter what the United States does, it's not going to make an impact on the worldwide greenhouse gas emissions.
The United States seems to be the most responsible for the global warming, for doing something about it. And that's what bothers me. You know, we have a constitution.
Arrivederci.
And nobody ever considers that constitution.
Fucking hell. But this is crazy.
The importance of protecting the natural rights of the individual. And I think global warming is an infringement on those rights. When I say global warming, at least the agenda of the political aspect of it.
He sounds like a high school kid who smoked a little too much pot. Dude, green is like my favorite color. So, yeah, I like it. And like, if the teacher says like, where's your homework? I'm just gonna tell him, I didn't do it.
Change is our biggest problem because I don't believe that man has anything to do with it. Climate has changed since before man existed on the planet and will continue when man is gone.
Remember when dinosaurs had cars and factories and everything else? Michael, the woman? Yeah, me neither.
As a professional climate scientist who's done this for 50 years, I'm afraid you're not correct. And that this evidence is real.
No, I'm not a climate scientist, but I know a lot of them. And I've heard exactly the opposite.
Oh God, I think I'm having a heart attack. Are you a doctor? Can you help me? No, I'm not a doctor, but I have many doctor friends. So what you need to do is just get mouth to mouth from like a frog. How you gonna tell someone whose job it is to research this that they're wrong because you heard it? Man, you the one drinking.
Many of the people who own homes, they're not allowed to water their lawns. Why? Because of environmental regulation laws, which are suppressing, again, suppressing.
He does that condescending teacher thing where they like say the word again slower, just in case you didn't know a big word. So I'm talking about science. Again, science. Your pea-sized brain won't get that. He's talking to like environmentalists. He's like, you stupid dumbass. I water my lawn. People don't get to water their lawn. If I want to pee on my lawn, I do it. That's constitutional, baby.
The natural right to use water, water, water.
Damn, he even gave him the eye pop at the end. Water. Can't fire someone who's already been fired. I'm Keith. Just to point out a lot of holes in the story. Water's not a natural right. I come from Africa. It is a goddamn privilege. Secondly, what the fuck are you talking about, G? The world is gonna go to shit. Who cares about your stupid lawn? That's his right. Keith literally prioritized his own lawn over global climate issues.
I worry about our future.
The Constitution preamble.
Keith, Keith, I'm gonna get juice poisoning if you don't let up with this Constitution talk, bro. I almost went sober for like 5 minutes. Oh, okay.
Some people think that we don't have the right to choose, you know, how we should live. I mean, because you want to enforce your way of life on others.
Keith, nobody's forcing their way of life on you. If anything, you have been forcing your way of life on other people. Keith, where did they find this man? Did they just find him at a museum reading the Constitution? He was like, oh man, can I find another version of the Constitution? And the museum guy's like, no, bro. This is a Wendy's. It's in your Constitution to get the fuck out of my store if you don't order. Okay, so we're done with the second video. 2 things. I am feeling and secondly, I am seeing double. 6 Trump supporters versus 1 secret hater. And for whatever reason in my head, I thought that one of these people would think, oh, Keith, maybe it's Keith. Not one of these fucking people in this whole episode think even for a second that Keith is not a Trump supporter. It's amazing.
So I think we should say why we support him, since assuming we all do.
Okay.
So did you want to start?
Sure. I'm supporting him because I'm a dad.
That's the qualification? Mike is the type of dude who's like, boys like blue and girls like green. Duh.
I support him because the only president in history that's
Quicker,
said...
because we have like 6 people. Okay, go.
I support him because he follows the Constitution.
You know, I saw this beautiful lady. She was reading the Constitution out aloud. And I said, will you marry me? And she said yes. She didn't know I was talking to the Constitution, but I guess I married her anyway. I'm Keith, and I don't care about anything. Bet you didn't know you were gonna watch man drink himself to death, did I? So, I don't know if you looked at the voting. Not one person voted for Keith. Not one person. All he said was Constitution. They're like, ah.
Raise your hand if you have any doubt and you would like to continue the game.
Keith didn't even have any doubts. He was like, that's it, we're done. Everyone had doubt. Keith doesn't even agree. Let me write that down.
What is your guys' stance on immigration?
I've seen the demographics change, not often for the good. We spend tons of taxpayer money to support illegal immigration. You know, we have a constitution.
Keith, why you do this to me, bro? Constitution. So you shouldn't drink this much. Remember I asked where you what was I saying?
Keith, you know he was a Trump supporter. It flowed.
See, even Mike knows what's up. He's like, it flowed. That makes no sense whatsoever. The one thing that these people can agree on is they know who is the Trump supporter, and it's Keith. And nobody voted for Keith yet again.
So, like, what would you say to the people who are going to think negatively of you as a Trump supporter?
I think it's really divine and, you know, Jesus Christ.
Round 4, and nobody has voted for fucking Keith.
Yeah, I have a question, though. I'm curious. How do you define conservatism?
My dad. I didn't want to vote anybody out. I just felt like everyone was honest, and so I was just like, I don't even think Mike is still in the game, but I wrote his name down.
Are you I'm sorry, do you understand what just happened? There's 4 people. Obviously, she's not gonna vote for herself, so there's 3 people now. There's Keith and the 2 bitches. Who the fuck is Mike? That dude left ages ago. Are you telling me you would rather make up a name than vote for Keith? Even like thinking about voting for Keith is wrong. Or you have to vote for someone who was here days ago. If this dude ran for president, he would lose so badly because no one would know how to vote for him. That was a great episode of Keith doesn't even try to lie because everybody knows exactly where his position on anything is. Now, before I end this video, I did actually find Keith one more time on Jubilee. Do all climate change skeptics think the same? And we have Keith at his finest. I hope this is not too much foreshadowing, but I would never bear hug Keith.
Well, I just wanted to be here just to possibly inform people.
May I just direct your attention to something very quickly? Not only is Keith now a teacher once again, he is also a martial arts instructor. What has happened in the 7 or 8 months since we last saw Keith? Did he decide to start kicking? He rose the ranks, but he's not a black belt because he would never associate with that. He's a white belt.
About a more constitutional aspect of this whole argument.
If I wasn't drunk, I am. Oh, God.
I care about the environment.
It's hypocritical for many people to argue that they care about the environment, and yet we see homelessness and we see trash all over the place. And you see that, to me, is the environment.
I mean, I guess it would be nice to give the homeless people homes. I don't know if he was dissing people or being nice. Keith is that type of dude. He's like, oh, you look so good compared to when I saw you last. You have to answer that in that way where you also give them some backlash. You're like, thank you, bitch.
I distrust mainstream media. 3, 2, 1, go.
I've never seen Keith laugh like that before. He's like...
The media is so corrupt and I can't get out.
And
I'm well informed on this topic.
At least Keith agrees that he doesn't know everything. That's kind of nice. I'm going to give you some respect, bro. That does take a lot of strength to say that you don't know everything.
Unless you're the smartest person on the planet. So, yeah, I don't understand it completely.
And he fucking moved all the way to the right. Hey, man, Keith knows everything about everything.
Although I'm not a scientist, I do believe that I am informed from the perspective of constitutional,
Gesundheit, Hey.
We should not be giving away our sovereignty to an international body. Okay, that's very important, and that's what I see being done.
Keith, climate change is not just a problem in America, it's a problem in the world. Yes, it's an international problem. Do you think America's not part of the international world? It's our problem, Keith. We're all in this together. High School Musical. That's just constitutional.
Climate change activists are often hypocrites.
I'm so glad that Keith took a stand for once, and he's disagreeing. A lot of people are just trying to see everyone get to the future. We're trying to put our kids in the right place. But for the ones that succeed us, I'm so glad that Keith Hardeen is finally seeing my point. Do you see where this is going? Do you see where this bit is going?
Yes, while Al Gore comes and speaks to people about global warming, he has an entire, about 5 or 6 SUVs that are running the entire time he's speaking.
There it is. There it is. He fucking did it again. He jukes people out. He's like, they're not hypocrites. They're super hypocrites. I agree with climate change. Anti-climate change. I'm a black person. Psych, I'm white.
Well, for me, I guess it depends on the activists you're talking about. I think that most people are hypocritical in one way or another, and so I just feel kind of bad, I guess, saying, yeah, you're hypocrites, you're jerks, because I'm sure I'm hypocritical in some ways. With that said, I think that I believe most of the activists, I think they're advocates. I think that they're genuine. I think that they believe what they're doing. And if they could get rid of every car and every plane and every
Robert knocks down. Now for the heir to the Constant Empire.
I just want to point out the fact that Jeremy is the truth in this episode. Hitman over here looks like he is going to take him out after the show. So someone better keep an eye on Mr. Hitman.
We, as in humans, should try to stop the polar ice caps from melting.
I'm gonna need everyone to agree on this one. Not even one!
They melt and refreeze all the time.
How much of the planet is water compared to land mass?
71%.
Okay, so polar ice caps melting?
What even was that? That was his argument. So the Earth is made up mostly of water, so polar ice cap melting? I'm sorry, sir, was that your argument? Can you repeat that? Of course. Polar ice caps melting? All right, so I'll just write that down. That was his argument.
I mean, I think it's quite clear that, we don't need to try and stop that from happening. I mean, it's impossible.
He said it's impossible to stop ice from melting. It's impossible. Global warming that's it. It's over. We're doomed. Thanks, Keith. Love your optimism.
If I change the phrasing to, the idea or the thought of the polar ice caps melting upsets me.
I mean, once again, language. What is a catastrophe exactly?
Your hairline. No, I'm sorry.
If I rephrase this to, if the polar bears went extinct, I would be sad. Where would you go?
This is the only question I've seen on Jubilee where the guy's like, okay, if I rephrase this shit to, do you care about the environment at all? He's like getting so annoyed from like the back. He's like, bro, would you not care if the animals died?
If I rephrase this to, if the polar bears went extinct, I would be sad. where would you go?
What a question, bro. Imagine having to say that to someone. If polar bears went extinct, would you be sad? If an animal, because of humans, went extinct, would you feel sad? Would you feel any guilt that you contributed to the extinction of this animal?
Oh, polar bear is my favorite animal. But, so I would go here. If it was just that, but...
How could anyone not feel a little... It's Keith.
I would say that the best chance of polar bears not going extinct is for human beings to have low-cost energy.
Everybody, even Michael, the woman with a man's name who is so staunch on anti-climate change, even she was like, they are fluffy.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, no, I don't hate polar bears. I love polar bears, but I think that we have all kinds of bears, so there'll be other bears. So if polar bears go extinct, so what?
He legitimately said if polar bears went extinct, there are plenty of other bears. So what? This man is a teacher who doesn't understand the ecosystem. That was stupid to the point that it's offensive. And even though I've been drinking guava juice, of course, I feel horrendous that people like this not only exist, but express their opinions so avidly. Keith is the type of guy to watch Madagascar and be like, wow, I just watched the most amazing documentary. No, Keith.
Every little natural disaster that happens, like fires in Australia or fires in Northern California, they blame it on global warming.
Fluffs, hold me back, hold me back. Keith, you old skateboarder. How dare you say that shit about Australia? We raise money for the victims, Keith. This shit is unnatural. Keith, you old skateboarder. It's caused by fucking global warming, Keith. That definitely contributes. You stupid if you don't know that, you old skateboarder. I'm sorry, I have to go meanie bobini on your ass.
They blame it on climate change. And that causes people, because again, the media pushes that narrative, and then people, of course, believe it.
I'm willing to change my mind on this topic. 3, 2...
Although Keith and I don't see eye to eye on anything, I think that it's always good that if someone can change their mind, you have to give them respect. I don't want to spoil it for you, but Keith's going to go over to the right because he understands that anybody's mind can be changed. So thank you, Keith.
Well, I said I was willing to listen to arguments.
Psych, motherfucker!
Yeah, I will not change my mind. I'm pretty much set. My personal faith, I believe in the inerrancy. I believe the immutable laws of nature apply and cannot be changed because I believe in the scriptures, the Bible, and basically in Genesis, as long as it says that the earth abides, as long as the earth abides, 4 seasons will not cease.
And that is how it ends. Constitutional Keith. Let's do it for old time's sake. Constitutional Keith. To Constitutional Keith and the fact that this man will never, ever, ever not be constitutional. Oh, God. Let's do it, guys. Keith thinks the black shouldn't run from cops. LGBT shouldn't be allowed to marry. Trump won't be here forever. Keith prioritizes his lawn over global climate change. He also defended his anti-climate change status by saying, and I quote, if polar bears go extinct, so what? I've never seen a man like Keith before. Just everything he says contradicts what human society is. I mean, besides literally reading the Constitution, what do you care about? What do you stand for? One of the most dangerous things in life is when people aren't open to changing. Because if someone can show you a better way of how to do things, then why wouldn't you just accept that or go along with it? Keith is one of the worst people I've seen. That was the video. Do hit that subscribe button. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I think I'm 16leo_. There's a word that rhymes with skunk. And I think I'm it. I'm going to go drink some coffee now, and I shall see you guys later. All right, guys, take care. Fluffs.